I'm not going to be editing this video for you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm speaking from the heart today, 100%, and I think it would cheapen the experience if I threw this video clip into iMovie and put cool graphics on it, and my cool little Linda's World theme song, and even text if you want to know the truth. So, let's just see what happens. I'm Linda, this is Linda's World, and I haven't said that sentence to you in months. I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm a little bit dressed up today because I was outside in the real world to sit down on my living room floor, as I do, and make a video for you, except that this video is a little special because it's not the classic where I've been YouTuber apology video. It's more like an explanation of a midlife crisis and an almost total nervous breakdown. So, bear with me. It's an interesting story. Now, even though my YouTube disappearance began around the Thanksgiving time, I'm going to start this story during the Christmas break because that's where it really started to take shape and where the whole Stevie Nicks angle comes in. So here I go. Now, during the Christmas break, which is basically, I'm a teacher, so we get off the week of Christmas and New Year's, my mother went to Florida. And so she's been watching my dogs while I went on vacation for like 20 years. So I took it upon myself to watch Griffin the Pug, who's 8 years old. He's my little nephew, and I call him Piggy Boy. And he's so cute, and he's got a little face, little tiny ears, and I just love him very much. And so he was a welcome addition to my home, even if that meant that Chloe and I and Griffin would be a little crowded in here. I don't live in the largest space. Also, he's a walked dog, and Chloe is paper trained, so I was taking him out to like do his business in like, you know, sub-zero temperatures and snow, but we'll get there. In any case, because I was broke, and because it was like 2 degrees outside, and because there was like nothing to do when you're broke and there's 2 degrees outside, I spent a long time in my house reading books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Lovely author. I highly recommend her. I blew through The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in like a day and a half, and then I set about reading Daisy Jones and the Six, which is a book about this like rock group and like the tensions between the people, right? So it's pretty good, and I heard that Taylor Jenkins Reid had gotten inspired to write it when she was a teenager and she became aware of Fleetwood Mac. She was watching the video of Landslide where Lindsey Buckingham is looking over at Stevie like she's like sent down from the Lord, and she was like, gee, there must be something more to this, and so she researched Fleetwood Mac and so on. Now, I am exactly as old as rumors. I don't know how to live in a universe that doesn't have Fleetwood Mac in it, you know, like, and I've been a Stevie Nicks fan, like, literally since birth. I remember being 6 and singing to the 45 of Stand Back with my mother in the living room, you know, and I remember when Edge of 17 came out and I was 4, and I used to think that the song was called White Winged Dove. So, like, I have a large history with this in general, but I dove into the YouTube rabbit hole, and I watched videos, you know, Goldust Woman and Sarah and all these things, but then I came upon Landslide, and I sat and I watched, and I listened, and I pretty much lost my damn mind. Now, I'm not sure I'm totally out of this, so please understand that if I'm speaking a little, what's the word, vaguely, or a little with like a lack of reverence for the mental health issue, please understand that it's because I'm trying my best here to get over it and to not be dwelling on this. And so I'm trying to treat it with a little bit of like humor. This way maybe I could like joke my way out of it because it's pretty effing painful. So anyhow, I'm sitting there watching Landslide, and if anyone is interested, my podcast, Linda's Turntable, which I've just revamped, and I'm going to be explaining away all of the cool songs that are the soundtrack to our lives. I made the first episode be about Landslide for this exact reason. And the questions that Stevie asked in the song, she asked actually when she was 25 years old and just wondering whether or not she should continue with her relationship and continue making music. But those of us of a certain age, and I'll be 45 in April, have always heard Landslide as a song of questions of the middle age. You know, like, can I sail through the changing ocean tides and handle the seasons of my life? And as the lyric says, I don't know. Now, the changes and the seasons and all the things that Stevie speaks of have been pretty much rocking my whole universe for the past 7 years or so. In the last 7 years, just to be brutally honest, I have lost my dog, and my cat, and my grandma, and my aunt, and my dad. That's the order of deaths, not significance, just the order in which they died. I have entered into and ended a terribly painful marriage. I have watched my career go down the toilet, and I've gotten a debilitating physical disability. So suffice it to say, the last 7 years haven't exactly been a bowl of cherries, right? But every single day I get out there and I try to sail through the changing ocean tides and handle the damn seasons of my life, right? But sitting there over the Christmas break, surrounded by dogs, having no money, in the snow, which is the complete opposite of the thing that makes me happy. You know me. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know Linda's about the summer, right? And so I was just like flipping my lid and being like, holy shit, this is like, where do I go from here? And I'm like halfway through adulting, you know, like I've been adulting for like 20 whatever years, and I've hated every single second of it. Not like I want to be a kid again. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I made incorrect choices. Some time ago on this channel, I made a video about like regretting your life choices, and I really, really, really effing do. And I think that there are certain ones I don't regret at all. Like, for example, being like divorced and single and having no children is something that I really am happy with. But everything else I've done incorrectly. Like, I chose a career I didn't want, and I squandered my monies, and I didn't put myself out there socially forwardly, and I didn't like get a handle on my mental illness until I was practically 30, in which case it's too late to meet people who don't think you're a jackass. And so all of these things were floating in my head as I listened to Landslide, and I was like, you know, by the time she got to the point where she says that I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you, which I can interpret to be my mother, who's my best friend, my really shitty career that I've devoted 22 years to, and I wish to God that I hadn't. And I mean, or anything else for that matter, Sophia the dog who's dead, whatever, right? I mean, the point is that I really started to realize that things were going awry, that they had been for a long, long period of time. And I would be morally remiss if I were to sit on this living room floor and try to give you advice on how to live your best life when I was crumbling. If you want to be perfectly honest, there's a pile of dishes in my sink. There is a huge pile of laundry, that's clean by the way, sitting on my bedroom floor. I haven't cleaned my bathroom in over a week. My floor is dirty, and I only wash my hair about once a week these days, and that takes a tremendous amount of effort. Now, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because that's not how Linda rolls, you know? Like, I don't do that. I'm known for like a couple of things, you know, and like one of the things I'm known for is being neat, orderly, and clean. So like for my life to have disintegrated into this cesspool of garbage and dirt is like unparalleled in the history of Linda's house, right? So a person might be like, well, what the hell? Like, I mean, just get up off the floor and do it. Like, what are you doing standing here talking to me, Linda? You got fish to fry. No, I wanted to come on camera and confess, because I can't be the only person. Like, I can't be the only person who cries when they hear time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting older too. I can't, right? Because time's marching on. And as time marches on, I find myself getting less and less bold. You know, I used to be bolder back in the day, and that wasn't saying a lot. I wasn't all that bold, but I used to just meet the challenge head on as best as I possibly could, or cry and call my mother and ask her to help me help change the challenge, you know. And these days I just find myself keeping to myself, sitting on a couch, crying over Landslide surrounded by dogs. And that's not how I want to be, and that's not the kind of person I want to be for the rest of my life. And I'm getting older too. You know, Stevie was right. I am. You know, we all are. Like, the moment you're born, you're dying. Like, we're all getting older every passing day. And days just keep slipping away. And to quote another fantastic songwriter in Adele's Million Years Ago, she says, I feel like my life is passing by and all I can do is watch and cry. And, like, yeah, you know. And so basically what I'm saying here to you is I have to make some serious changes. Now, I don't want you to be worried in this video, because like I'm telling you, like if this was really difficult, like, and if I was like gonna do something wrong about it, like I wouldn't be on camera talking about it, you know. I'd be holed up doing that. I'm not. I'm telling you that I want to get better, you know. Like, I'm using you guys as my like what was that word on South Park years ago with Butters, my accountability buddy, because I don't want to continue down this road, because this road is going to lead nowhere but misery, and I'm afraid what else, you know. So I'm nipping it in the bud now by coming on camera and confessing to you, hello, my name is Linda Erin McManus. I am going through a tremendous midlife crisis. I cry at the drop of a hat when listening to Landslide, even though I purposely play it because it's such a damn good song. And I find power, and I'm trying to take it back, in Edge of 17 when Stevie says, and the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that is my own, I begin again. What do I mean by that? I mean that as these days keep on passing by like a strand in the wind, I have to realize that this web, that I'm in right here, like, I made this. Like, I was wrong. Like, I made bad choices, and I didn't follow through, and, like, I messed things up. Certain things were beyond my control. But you can't control the universe, but you can control your reaction to the universe. And I've been controlling it really effing badly. So, in the web that is my own, I'm going to begin again. And so will this channel. And that's why I've come on camera to confess this to you. And I hope that you can understand that life isn't what you see on YouTube, that even the most smiley, happy-go-lucky content creators go through it, because they are also what I am, a human, and that we all go through our bad patches, and this has been one of my worst patches. In fact, probably my worst patch yet, if I'm being honest with myself. But I don't intend to let it continue, and I'll be back. And I'm back here, so why don't I just continue that and keep on making videos for you? Like a strand in the wind, but in the web that is my own, I begin again.